Let's talk about programming and configuring the iLog dry ice. We have 6 different models with different sensor options: internal, external, internal and external.
External sensor can be as long as 3 meters.
Make sure that you have Console Pro software installed on the computer. The iLog interface is connected to the PC. The USB driver is installed. The iLog is placed properly on the interface. The iLog display is showing some text or the iLog icon on the display, and the iLog has a good battery. Please open up the Console Pro software and we will look at the Show Current Readings feature that can be accessed by pressing the F8 key. The 2 thermometers on the toolbar, or selecting Show Current Readings under the Action menu. The Show Current Readings wizard will pop up and display in the grayed out area. Click Next to start communicating with the iLog. The wizard will then start searching for the iLog on the selected COM port. The wizard should return some results finding the logger and display some information about it, like the description, serial number, product code and communications port number. Click the Display button or Display tab and the iLog will start showing the current readings on all sensors that are available. You can exit the Show Current Readings wizard. Program and Configure is another method to communicate with the iLog. You can use this option by pressing F6 key, choosing the iLog symbol with the red triangle pointing down on the toolbar, or going to the Action menu and selecting Program and Configure. The Program and Configure wizard will pop up in the grayed out area and will start searching for the unit. Click Next to go to the next tab for configuration options. Here you will go to the Details tab, where you are given the option to use, you don't have to use, the description field, which will allow you to enter a maximum of 24 total characters. This includes spaces and punctuation. Another feature is to password protect your units by clicking Change Password button. Here you are able to set a password to protect the program settings, protect retrieval of readings, or both. With pressing the Help menu, you will see the default password we set on the units, or you can choose your own up to maximum 8 characters and click OK to set the new password. Special note, don't forget your new password or the unit will need to be returned to Cryopak for password reset. Click Next or the Sensors tab to step through the process to configure your sensors. You will want to left-click on the first sensor you want to configure and then click the Configure Sensor button. Here a Configure Sensors pop-up box will be displayed where you can set up a description for the sensor if you choose to use it. Click Next or the Specification tab to advance to setting up an alarm specification or excursion range for your sensor. First you will set up your minimum specification, then your maximum specification, and lastly your increment. Click Next or the Alarm tab to set up your alarm options, where you can tick the boxes for raising the alarms for the lower spec and upper spec readings. After doing so, you will notice more alarm options are available for turning on or off. Choose the additional options you want selected by ticking the appropriate boxes. If you are raising alarms, you will need to select both the number of consecutive out-of-spec readings and total number of out-of-spec readings, and at least set to 1 and 1 so it will either immediately alarm, or you can set a higher number if you want to delay the alarm. Click Next or the Display tab, which will allow you set up your display options. Tick or untick the appropriate boxes to set up the required display settings you need. Unit of measurement can be changed using the drop-down box to select Celsius or Fahrenheit to be shown on the LCD display of the device. The second drop-down box is for the seconds the display will change the information shown on the display. When all of your settings for the sensor is set up the way you wanted, click Finish and you will be returned to the Sensors window. Left-click on the second sensor and click Configure Sensors button. Here a Configure Sensors pop-up box will be displayed where you can set up a description for the sensor if you choose to use it. Click Next or the Specification tab to advance to setting up an alarm specification or excursion range for your sensor. Click Next or Date, Time tab, where you are taken to option set up the date and time that will be installed into the iLog. By default it is set up to use the date and time from your computer, which we suggest to use, but you have other options to choose, like make no changes or set to a specific date and time. Click Next or the Startup tab, where you can set how the unit will record temperatures. Starting with the duration of trip drop-down box, you can change from user-defined to a specific amount of days you would want the unit to record, from a choice of 1 to 60 days, or user-defined, where specify all parameters. If you set it to 1 day, it will set up the interval and show you how many total readings it will record before the unit will stop. If you change the 1 day to 7 days, you will notice the interval between each reading will change, as well as the total amount of readings that will be taken. On the left-hand side of the Startup tab you will notice Start New Log Trip, which will allow you to use either start by a magnetic start or by a time-delayed start using days, hours and minutes, or by specifying a specific date and time. You will also notice the continuous logging option listed under Finish Log Trip, where you select whether or not you want the unit to wrap around its memory so it keeps recording temperatures. Pay attention to how many days, hours, or minutes before the device will start overwriting its oldest memory first. In the left-hand corner of the Startup tab is the New Battery is Fitted box, where you need to select if you have changed the battery in the device so the software will reset the estimated battery life counter. A pop-up box will display warning you to make sure you actually changed the battery. Either yes or no will need to be selected so the battery counter can be reset. Click Next or Summary tab and you are taken to the final step in the Program and Configure wizard that will provide you a brief summary for your review on how the unit will operate after you program it. If you agree with how the settings and the summary say the unit will operate, you can click Program and the device will go from 0% to 100% programming the unit with all of the parameters you set up. You want the result to show success, and you will notice if you program the device with the time-delayed start it will briefly go into the ready state and then the device will turn on and go to the countdown timer until it starts recording temperatures. If the iLog is programmed with a magnetic start you will see ready just to the left of the iLog symbol on the display, as well as the magnetic icon just below the ready to show the device will require a magnetic start. You will need to swipe the magnetic key to start the iLog by swiping the magnet across the face of unit just below the LCD. If you programmed the unit with a time-delayed start you will see the countdown timer and then it will start recording temperatures. Thank you for watching, and please visit us at www.cryopak.com for anything you may need.